Hello everybody. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss about airport layout. In previous videos, I have been discussed about airport and different classifications of airport. Understand? Na? So in this video lecture, I am going to discuss about airport layout. Generally, airport have been divided into two areas. One is airside area and another one is landside area. The runway, ramp, taxiway. These three components generally will be considered as airside area. So you can see here, it is the area beyond landside area in the airport. It includes runways, taxiways and ramps. Ramp is also called as apron. Okay, now so we already know that runway is the area or it is the component of airport which is provided for the takeoff or landing of the aircraft or airport. Okay, now so the runway may be made of soft grass or may be constructed with asphalt or concrete. Okay, now so the runway, it means it is a pavement, it is a rigid pavement. Generally in airports it is constructed or it is laid for the landing of aircrafts or for the it means for the takeoff of aircrafts. Okay, now so you can see the runway has white markings. So those white markings which it means which help pilot during takeoff and landing. Understand now? And the runway, it means during daytime some markings may be there. Okay, now so white color markings may be there upon the runoff. Okay, now so it means those markings will give some guidelines to the pilot where he has to take off or where he has to land on the runway, the aircraft. And for it means to help him during night time, the runway contains lamps. Okay, now so to guide the pilot during night time, the vehicles other than the aircrafts are strictly prohibited to enter this area of the airport. Next one is the ramp. Ramp is also called as apron. So it is the component of airport which is used to park the aircraft or to park the aeroplane. Okay, so it can be accessed for boarding and aligning the aircraft. So the airline staff or ground duty staff can access this area. Understand? It means no passenger or no other side people not allowed into apron. Taxiway, it is a path within the airport. Understand? So which connects two runways or which connects apron and runway or which connects hangar and runway or which connects terminal building and runway. Understand? So such ways are called as taxiways. Okay, now so here you can see different airside area of the airport. Understand? So this is the complete layout of the airport. In this figure you can see runway, taxiway, ramp or apron. So ramp or apron is the part of airport which is used for parking the airplanes. Understand? And next it is landside area. So generally the terminal building and some parking facilities to be provided for the passengers like car parking, bike parking. Understand? So these things will be, it means these things will be come under landside area. Understand? So you can see it is the area in the airport terminal and the area towards city. It has access to the city roads and it contains parking area as well as public transport area. Generally the terminal and car parking, these two will be considered as landside area of airport. Okay, now so come to terminal, it is a part of airport building that where travelers come to board their flight. It means to arrive from a flight, understand now, or to reach the flight. And there are security checking, baggage checking, amenities and waiting areas at the terminal. It means all the facilities which are to be provided for the convenience of passengers. So that area will be called as terminal building. The terminal building may contain different components like checking and seating for the passengers who are waiting, and ATM will be there, shoppings will be there, restaurants will be there, hotels will be there, Understand? So such things will be there. Okay, now so that part or that building will be called as terminal building. And car parking, area is outside. It means outside of the airport, but adjacent to the terminal. Okay, now so where vehicles can be parked. Okay, now it means mostly they may be chargeable. It means the parking may be chargeable. Okay, now so most of the airports around the world are owned by local, regional, or national government bodies. Okay, now so in our India, some airports are also owned by some state governments. It means with some percentage. Okay, now so according to the aircraft rules 1937, the airports other than government airports are permitted to be owned by Indian cities. It means Indian citizens or Indian companies or corporations registered and having their principal place or business as India. Okay, now so in India, some airports are owned by state governments, private companies, or even individual citizens. Okay, now so this is about the complete layout of the airport, like airside area and landside area. Now, shall we discuss different components of airport? Okay, now so these are the some basic components of airport and most important components of airport: runway, terminal building, apron, taxiway, aircraft stand, hangar, control tower, and parking. Let us see one by one. Runway, already I told you, runway it is the area on the airport which is provided for the landing and takeoff of the aircraft. So it can be grass or packed dirt or some hard surface which is made up of asphalt or concrete pavement. Okay, now so yeah, it also always contains some markings to help the pilot. Understand? It means when he is in air. Okay, now to tell that it is a runway and to help them when they are landing or taking off. Runway markings are always will be in white color. Next one is the terminal building. Okay, now so this is also called as airport terminal. These buildings are the spaces where passengers board or alight from flights. Okay, now so it means these buildings will contain all necessary facilities for passengers, like for checking their luggage, understand, and also for refreshment. Some refreshment will be there, some cave, restaurant, bar, and also some seating arrangements or some seating for waiting passengers or waiting areas. All those things will be there, understand. And also it means the building contains ticket counters, luggage checking or luggage transfer, and security checking, and customs. Okay, now and all those things. It means these are all the different basic functions or some basic services or some basic facilities provided by the or provided at the terminal building. Okay, so large airports can have more than one terminal that are connected to another terminal through link of such walkways, bridges, or trams. Okay, now smaller airports usually have only one terminal that houses all the required facilities. Okay, it means it depends upon the size of the airport. Understand? Okay, now it means some big airports may contain more than one terminal buildings, like 2 or 3 or 4. Okay, now and small airports, some domestic airports may contain only one terminal building, and within the terminal building, all those facilities will be provided. Next one is the apron. In this figure, you can see apron. Apron is the place where we can park aeroplanes or aircrafts. Okay, now so the another name of apron is ramps. Aprons are also called as ramps. Okay, now so they vary in size from areas that may hold 5 or 10 small planes. Okay, now so to the very large areas that the major airports have. It means it depends upon the size of the airport. Understand? It means more number of flights are coming, it will be big airport, and there some big apron will be there. Understand? Or if the small airport, it means less number of airplanes are arriving and departing from that airport, so it may contain some small apron. Okay, now it means the size of apron will depend upon the size of the airport. A taxiway. So it is the most important component of the airport. A taxiway is a path on an airport connecting runways with ramps, hangars, terminals, and other facilities. Okay, now so they mostly have hard surface such as asphalt or concrete. All the smaller airports sometimes use gravel or grass. Okay, now so this is about taxiway. Mostly the taxiway is a path which is provided to connect two runways or to connect apron to the runway. Okay now, the taxiways are provided for taxiing of the aircraft within the airport. Next component is the aircraft stand. Okay now, so a portion of an apron designated as a taxiway and intended to provide access to the aircraft stand only. Next one is the hangar. Hangar, it is the most important component of the airport. Okay now, so it is provided for, it means to provide some service or some repair activities to the aircraft. Okay now, so you can see here, a hangar is a closed building structure to hold aircraft. Hangars are built of metal, wood or concrete. Hangars are used for protection from the weather, direct sunlight, and for maintenance. Okay now, and repair, manufacture, understand, under some assembly of different components of the aircraft, storage of aircraft. Okay now, so these are all the different functions of the air hangar. Okay now, so this is the most important part of the essential part of the airport. Okay now, control tower, a tower at an airfield from which air traffic is controlled by radio and observed physically and by radar. It means from this tower the signals will be given to the pilot, understand, and the from the pilot the signals will be observed by the tower. Okay now, so the tower will be called as control tower, and this is completely operated by radar. Okay now, so which is provided at each and every airport. This is the most important one, essential. Okay now, so if the control tower, it means if the signals are not received by the pilot, it means when the flight is flying at some other distance. Okay now, so then we can, it means it will be highly dangerous situation. Next one is the parking. Parking is the specific area of airport at which vehicles can park. Yeah, this is the different components of airport. Okay now, so this is the complete layout of the airport. In this figure you can see each and every component of the airport. Okay now, so you can call this is the layout of the airport, complete layout. This is also one more layout of the airport. Taxiway is there, terminal is there, apron is there, runway is there, some aircrafts you can find in this image. This is another layout of the airport. Okay now, it means different designs of layouts you can see.